Skeptics Review the Bible by John Smith. It's Job, Part 8. Aren't we done with this yet? I guess a few more videos to go. Here we are, folks. Another chapter of Job. Just when you thought the bobbleheads were done talking, Job has a lot more to say, apparently. I wish I could rewind the clock to months ago when God actually watched over and cared about me, the servantiest of all his servants. His metaphorical and spiritual light shone down on me, and we had an intimate friendship. We had a bromance. Plus, my kids were still alive and not killed by God in a windstorm. I'm going to make some metaphorical statements here about butter, cream, and olive oil. I'm hungry and I don't know why. When people saw me coming, they stepped aside, stopped what they were doing, and went out of their way to show respect for me. Contrary to what you've heard, I was nice to widows and orphans, and rightness was my clothing. Gee, Job, do you think maybe pride was your sin? Just a thought. I took up the cause of strangers, and I broke the teeth and jaws of wicked people, physically and metaphorically. I had no doubt that I would die in my own house in comfort, surrounded by my wealth. Oh, and all my kids. I can't forget about my kids. Also, something about trees and dew and roots and branches, because we just can't have enough metaphor about those things. I spake and people listened. My face was metaphorical light for them. I was their chief and their king, but now I am the butt of all of their jokes. Young men scoff at me. Me, the guy who scoffed at their fathers. I wouldn't have even let their fathers help my sheepdogs guard my sheep. Their fathers were worthless. Those guys were strong, but of no use to me. Their strength was of no avail to them. They roamed the parched earth and gathered roots as their food. Their homes were holes in the ground next to dry stream beds. They were driven out of society. It is these same men that now mock me, the most servantiest of all of God's servants. They spit in my face. The youth rise against me, and God does nothing to stop them. They come upon me like rushing tidal waves. I cry to God, but the omnipresent, omnibenevolent Lord does not hear me, or he just does not listen. I am filled with suffering. Very soon I will die. I will fall into the mud and become dust and ashes. Why don't you answer my prayers, God? Have I not wept bitter tears, and yet you continue to put your hand against me? My soul is grieved. I have looked for light, but all I have found is darkness. Jackals and owls are my only friends. Also, my metaphorical lutes and pipes are playing mournful dirges. Yeah, this goes on for a while longer. Sorry, kiddies. Ugh. It would go faster if you would stop interrupting. Ugh, fine. I have totally never looked at a woman with lust in my eyes except my loving wife, of course. And how does God repay us? With disaster, ruin, and diseases. Oh, and killing all your kids in a windstorm. I can't forget my kids. God is omnipotent and omnipresent, but he is nowhere to be found when I want to take my case before him and be weighed honestly. He will see that I am innocent if only he gives me this chance. If I have turned from God's path in any way, like, for example, being a peeping Tom and looking at another man's wife with lust, then let my wife cook another man's food and sleep in another man's bed. Oh, so you're looking at other women through peepholes? Meanwhile, I'm relegating to cooking and sex? Is that it? I don't even get a name in this book. Typical. Hush, sweetie. I'm trying to finish my story. Hey! The Apostle Paul says women should remain silent. Oh, boy, this is not going to go well. What's not going to go well? Oh, hi, Lillian. Where'd you come from? Hey, what's this on Twitter that I'm reading about a woman in the Bible not even getting a name and just being there to cook and clean and have sex and pop out a bunch of kids? Oh boy, Job, you thought you were in trouble before. Honey, sweetie, I was just making a point for my story. Put a lid on it, Boyle boy. Whoa, I'm backing out of here slowly. I want no part of this. Where do you think you're going, Satan? You stay right where you are. Okay, sorry. Geez, I thought I was the ruler of hell. What was that? I said your perfume's really swell. Can I please finish my story now? Please? Hello, man suffering from God's wrath over here. If I have acted in a sinful manner, then somebody please rip my arm right out of its socket and break the bones. I dread and fear God, and he is truly splendorous. I open doors to strangers and foreigners. I do not conceal my sin like Adam did. If I have done wrong to farmers or stolen their land or something, let my food be weeds and thistles. And thus the words of Job are ended.
You know, ladies, I'm really tired of how women are treated in the Bible. Something needs to be done. Yeah, especially when women don't even get a name. What's up with that?